Hi, welcome to our channel where we share with you the most interesting stories about family, love, life, and work. Today we will tell you about a hardworking young boy who, despite his tender age, was known for his success all around the country. People came from neighboring villages to see what his secret was. And it turned out that there were 3 things that helped him achieve great results. Do you want to know what they are? Then watch this video till the end. A young boy lived and worked in a village with his parents. They had a big farm with a lot of crops, vegetables, fruits, a pond with fish, and a lot of farm animals. The boy loved his life and enjoyed working in the fields. He liked taking care of the animals, planting trees, and picking fruits. When he grew up, he wanted to become an excellent farmer like his father. When the boy was 16 years old, he heard some rumors that a large agricultural company was going to buy out their farm at any cost because they wanted to take the fertile land for themselves and build a factory there. This worried the boy because his family had worked hard for many years to make the farm successful, and he didn't want it to go to waste. Instead of being upset and giving up, the young man decided to do everything possible to make their farm even more successful and sought advice from his parents on how to improve production. They gave him some useful tips, but also taught him the most important thing: never give up. So the boy started to think of ways to increase production on the farm. He observed that the soil quality on the fields could be better, and the crops could grow bigger and more beautiful if the soil was enriched with useful minerals. The boy told his parents about this idea, and they decided to buy several pigs. They would eat the crops, and then they would return the soil fertility by producing manure. It's also a well-known fact that when pigs are kept near fish ponds, their excrement serves as fertilizer for the water and makes the fish grow faster. So now, not only the fields, but also the pond would bring more income. The boy took care of the pigs every day, fed them, and monitored how much they were growing. A few months later, the pigs grew up and brought the first profit to the farm. But this was only the beginning. The boy then noticed that the road to the village passed right by their farm, and every day he saw cars driving past them. He asked his father why nobody stopped by to buy fresh produce. His father replied that people from the city weren't interested in buying eggs, milk, or fruits from a farm. They would prefer to buy these products in supermarkets, which soon would appear in their village too. But the boy wasn't ready to give up. He decided to take matters into his own hands. The next day, he went to the nearest city, rented a truck, and returned with boxes of apples. He placed the boxes outside the supermarket and waited for customers. Many passers-by stopped and asked where they could buy such delicious apples. They liked that the seller was a young man who told them about his family farm and how carefully he selected the apples. People began to buy the apples, and by the end of the day, the boxes were empty. This is how the boy's first business began. Every day he sold something different, sometimes vegetables, sometimes fruits, and sometimes even homemade jam. But no matter what the boy sold, everything was always bought out in a matter of hours. One day, the boy was approached by 2 men who introduced themselves as representatives of a large agricultural company. They offered to buy out the farm, but the boy refused. The men were surprised to hear this because they were used to everyone giving in easily, but not this young man. Then one of the men asked what the boy's secret was, because everyone knew about his success and they wanted to learn from him. The boy smiled and said, "I have 3 secrets." The men were intrigued and asked him to share them. First, you have to love your work. If you don't like what you do, you won't get any pleasure from the result, the boy said. The men nodded in agreement, knowing that the boy was right. They loved their work, otherwise they wouldn't have been so successful in their field. Second, you must always remember why you started. My family has been working on this land for many years, and I don't want all their efforts to go to waste. That's why I work every day to make our farm the best, the boy explained. The men understood these words perfectly because they had started their company with the same goal and had not lost sight of it yet. And my third and most important secret is to always stay humble and kind. Even if one day I become richer than everyone else, I will never forget where I came from and who helped me along the way, the boy said sincerely. The men looked at each other. They realized that the boy was right. In their race for success, they had forgotten what it meant to be human and had become mean and selfish. That's why they couldn't succeed. The men thanked the boy for his wisdom and left without saying another word about buying out the farm. They understood now that money wasn't everything, and that being successful didn't mean being rich. From that day on, the boy continued to work hard and develop his farm. He planted new orchards and took care of the animals. Years passed, and the boy became a respected and successful farmer. Moreover, he didn't forget about the city dwellers and regularly brought his produce there. He also supplied fruits and vegetables to local cafes and restaurants. The boy's determination paid off. Their farm was one of the largest and most successful in the area. Not only that, but the boy also became known throughout the country as an excellent and honest farmer. People often came to his village just to see him and find out what his next idea was. One day, a famous businessman visited the boy and learned about his life. He was so impressed by the young man's story that he invited him to become a partner in his company. Together, they developed a delivery service for farmers so that they could sell their produce directly to consumers. Years passed, and both the boy and the businessman became very successful. However, they never forgot their roots and always remained grounded. They often met with young people and shared their experience with them, teaching them that no matter what kind of business you're in, always remain a kind and honest person. So, what was the secret of the boy's success? Of course, it was his determination, humility, and kindness. Determination to achieve his goal, humility to listen and learn from others, and kindness to remain a good person. These are the qualities that made him successful in his endeavors and allowed him to help other farmers in his village and the businessman to realize his potential and change his life for the better. And what qualities help you achieve your goals? We'd love to hear about them in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. Take care.